ESPN. It is a gorgeous early September day outside, and we're about to come on inside University Arena and have a really fun matchup. In-state rivals colliding. Michigan State against Western Michigan. Welcome onto the floor at University Arena. With Teresa Beckman, I'm Evan Stockton. Jordan Last joins on the sidelines in a moment. Tree, when you look at both of these programs, although the records are different, Michigan State's really hot to start the year and Western Michigan's struggling, the roster makeup is similar. When we look at Michigan State and Western Michigan, they're still kind of figuring out who they are at this time of the year. Michigan State has a new coaching staff and a lot of new players, including the really talented Malaya Long, who came over from Marquette, was really talented and highly touted in high school, and she's showing off at Michigan State right now.
The number 4 recruit in Nebraska, which is, they have some things in volleyball, but she's doing a great job early on, trying to figure out the identity for this young Spartan squad as they're reestablishing their culture. It'll be fun to see her continue to grow and kind of just establish what their offense is going to be.
Culture's built here at Western Michigan. They made the tournament 2 years in a row, but they are getting a lot of young faces into the roster who are replacing old faces. Leah Richmond has the least enviable task in the MAC. She's replacing Logan Case, but she's doing a really good job right now at that center spot.
She is. She's a very athletic setter. She gets after it, but she is young, and she's going to have some variance. But I will tell you, where we're going to see her growth most this preseason is going to be in her court leadership. We've already seen a huge growth. If they can stay in the moment, not worry so much about the scoreboard, they're going to be just fine, and Leah's going to lead the way.
Broncos are going to enjoy the heck out of being at home today. This is their only home match in the next 10 matches, and it's quite the challenge. Undefeated Michigan State comes to University Arena, and we start this one right after this. Michigan State in those familiar green and white uniforms, although the football team wore black over the weekend. Shout out to Aiden Childs and the entire Spartan team. Overtime win against Boston College the other night. Western Michigan in their familiar white. This is the only home match for Western Michigan until September 25th when they kick off MAC play at home here in Kalamazoo against Eastern Michigan, and a similar deal for Coach Kelsey's team. Michigan State's going to be away from home for a while. They're in the midst of a long stretch away from home. 3rd game out of 5 they're away from Michigan State. Short trip up the road to Kalamazoo. Fun environment in here tonight. Carly Piercefield will get us going. There's Long to set it up. Right through the middle, it got blocked. Now they'll try that far pin, and an error on Michigan State leads to Western Michigan getting the first point of the match.
Yeah, they got to be happy about that, right? Especially, I'm going to watch the size. There's a little bit of a size difference, Big Ten and the MAC, right? But I will tell you, early on, just for Western Michigan to get touches on those balls, they don't have to get a ton of blocks. They just got to get touches or get good digs like that.
Gotta love it from Piercefield. Strong dig by Michigan State. Blocked to the net again by the Broncos. Spartans can set it up here. They'll go back through the middle, and Piercefield is doing work.
She just got hit by that ball. I don't know.
This is a heck of a rally on the second point of the match. Intensity turned up, and it's a Michigan State point. Taylor Hold'em, the junior from New Zealand, her first kill of the night.
Michigan State early on is really trying to establish that back row attack, and I love where they're running it. They're running it 7, 8 feet off the net. That's how you want to see that back row attack run.
The serve from Long, the Marquette transfer. Mary Claire Brusick couldn't finish. And another strong block. Duzama was blocked right at the net by a nice Bronco tag team.
I'll tell you, when we look at that play right there, those are the little things. When we talk about, Leah Richmond not having the most enviable job, those are the things that really matter, where we really miss Logan Case. Her consistency with her set delivery was so good. I mean, all the way from her freshman year. That's where we're going to see a huge amount of growth with Leah, so that her players can get, her middles especially, can actually get their arm in the ball. They don't have to tip because the set's over their head or whatever.
Man, if you're Western Michigan, you are liking this start. A 3-1 lead as Michigan State has had a couple of unforced errors that have allowed Western Michigan to take the lead.
Yeah, they got to be really happy with how they're coming out here. Good touch. That's what I'm talking about. They just have to get their hands on those balls at the net, slow it down a little bit, let their defense do its job.
Broncos keep it alive. Color on that left pin, not a lot of juice on it. And yet again, Michigan State, that is their third error that has directly resulted in a Western Michigan point.
You know, even though Michigan State setter, we talked about her in the Open, obviously. She's coming from Marquette, so she had a redshirt season there. And now she's coming here. She's a really highly touted setter, but she's also a redshirt freshman, just like Leah Richmond. So we're seeing some young setters. You're going to see some of those misses, especially with their quick tempo sets.
Broncos get a free ball here. And they nearly made a mistake. Color sent it over. Vellucci dug it out. And it's a kill for Duzama. Coming a little closer to home. Senior from Grand Rapids. It'll be Holden to serve it. She's from Christchurch, New Zealand. It's one of the largest cities in New Zealand. Did look it up, by the way. I believe they are 16 hours ahead. So if they're watching in New Zealand, it is already...
It's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. It is Tuesday.
Can we... Yeah, I want to know what happens.
Oh, you want to look into the future?
I do,
You want to do Marty McFly Back to the Future action over here?
I do. I actually want to look into the future also to see what this challenge was. Well, I got to go to the past to figure out what we're challenging, because I definitely missed it.
The current time in Christchurch, New Zealand, by the way, is 10:11 tomorrow, Tuesday, September 9th.
Wait, a.m. or p.m.?
A.m.
Oh, so it's
they
just
can have a coffee and then watch this
11
match.
minutes into Tuesday. Okay.
Early review, as Western Michigan hoping this gets flipped to a Bronco point. Spartans have gotten a couple of points in a row after the Broncos won 4 of the first 5. Frustrating weekend for Colleen Munson's team down in Bloomington, Indiana. They lost 3 total matches. Weekend ended with a 3-set loss to Indiana. But you talk to Colleen a lot, and both of you understand, and Coach Munson intimately understands, that this is going to be a maturation process for her team early on in the year. On this replay, by the way, I think what Western Michigan is hoping for was a Spartan touch, and I do think it went off Evie Duzama right at the net.
Or was it Kulik? I think it got her pinky, her outside hand, this hand closest to us. If you see, yeah, it did. Yeah, you can see, and they actually won it. It definitely caught her hand. So that's a Western Michigan point. It's 5-2. Sorry, you were saying about Coach Munson.
I think she probably understands in her heart of hearts that you may have to take some lumps early
totally.
for growth late.
Absolutely, especially, I mean, this is a complete turnover. It's an overhaul almost of the complete roster, right? The trick is now they're going out to California to play some 2 top 20 teams or top 25 teams next week, and another one that's probably one of the better 0-4 teams ever in LMU. They've lost to all ranked opponents. So they know the biggest trick, it's almost kind of the same for Coach Kelsey. Like, when results are they're lopsided for Michigan State. They haven't had a ton of challenge so far this preseason, where Michigan State's been really, really challenged. The focus is then to just stay in the point and to continue to grow regardless of what the result looks like.
Zuzana Kulik had the serve. Long had the dig. Big swing and a finish. Spartans starting to heat up. Karolina Stanishevska, the junior from Poland, the kill.
Yeah, and that backslide, I don't want to harp on this too much, but this is the things that I'm looking at. You're going to see the growth in Leah Richmond. Like, that ball for that backslide there, that was like 9 feet off the net. Just geometry is a thing, right? So that's really hard to hit at a downward trajectory, and a team like Michigan State's going to gobble that up and turn it back on them for a transition point right away. Good hustle.
Broncos get the point there. You talk so much, Trey, on these broadcasts the last couple of years. Among the many great things that Logan Case did, she just understood spacing. She just understood geometry. And I'd have to imagine that's the type of thing that you just don't acquire that skill overnight.
No, you don't. And one of the things with Logan is she came in, her parents are both, they owned a club, right? They're both coaches. So she had been in there forever. And so she'd been setting, she just set a lot of balls. And so she was good at that already coming in. Setters understand it. It's one thing to understand it. There's another thing to execute it. And we're going to see massive growth from Leah Richmond in this preseason. She just has to stay the course.
That was such a good dig by Ella Guilfoy. And then right into the net for Western Michigan. Nullifies the really good dig. So the Spartans get a point back.
And that's where we see the youth, right? That's just not something you get out of an experienced team.
Spartan serve coming with Leah Schneider. Grew up about an hour from Chicago. She nearly got a fortunate little bounce off the net there. Long's dump. Didn't work. Tried to get a little too cute.
She wants that back. That was a definite dump opportunity. Had she executed it and had not gone out of bounds, that would have definitely been a kill. There was not any defending that. She just overshot the sideline.
Brown had the Broncos serve. Long set.
Nice dig.
Oh, come on. Another good one from Boyer. We've seen a lot of that over the years. Broncos keeping it alive.
Nice.
So do the Spartans with Schneider. Right on through the middle. And that is a strong finish. Holden's got a couple of kills for Michigan State.
I got to tell you, I love Long setting the back row attack and where she's really pushing them forwards. She's hitting that at 8 feet. And a lot of times what people do, they'll get that back row attack. The attacker just has to jump before the 10-foot line, but they can jump forward, especially if you have obviously a bigger leap. But the closer you can get that to the net, the closer, faster it gets on the defenders. I mean, I love the tempo and the location of that pipe for Michigan State.
Long. Oh, she learned a couple of points later. How about that dump right in the middle?
Good timing, good execution. She's going to be an offensive threat. That's the kind of, when you're running a 5-1, if you ever have a setter that's this offensive, is a really nice thing to have.
Man, Stanishevska, she has some velocity coming off those serves.
You know, Coach Kelsey talked about this in our production call yesterday. They had, what, I think 12 aces in, you know, their last match. And she said, we also had 12 errors, but you can have 12 errors if you have 12 aces. And some coaches will even, that's a 1-to-1 ratio. Some coaches will even take 2-to-1. If you had 12 aces, they would give you, you can have 18. So they're a good serving team. They know it. They're going to need it to compete in the Big Ten.
You know, Holden for Michigan State, by her standards, the 53 kills 4 matches in, she put up gaudy numbers in her career. She's going to get over 600 kills by the time this night is over. She's looked strong early on.
Yeah, she sure has, especially last weekend. I mean, she was really the star of that match against Evansville.
The Purple Aces, yes. Long setting it up again. They're starting to feel it. And Holden's starting to rack them up for Michigan State.
Yeah, Cassidy Prattley right there. You know, she's getting some time. We talked about it early on. And right there, she's just really late to close that ball. And she's a freshman. She's going to learn the speed of this game is just a lot. So this is great experience to be able to get her. She's got to get over and close. Basically, that was a single block.
Richmond set it up.
Oh, I thought I saw a touch.
No touch. And Michigan State has rattled off 2 points in a row here to grab their largest lead of the match. Still very early. Clayton serves it. Richmond sets it.
Oh, nailed it.
And just got it in that time. Broncos will take that.
Absolutely painted the corner on that. Take a look at it here. Good spot. And that is a savvy player. I mean, MC, as they call her, has seen a lot. She's so automatic in the backslide so often. And again, that's why that location matters so much coming from Leah Richmond. But what a way to find a kill. It was a two-handed, too. It wasn't even disguised, but she just painted the corner perfectly. Nice set.
Blocking the net by the Broncos, but that successful set by Long gets another kill for the Michigan State Spartans as they really work that far side.
Yeah, they do. And I'll tell you, the thing that I love about that is she's got a little bit, like she's really setting with her core. It looked effortless for her as she's running backwards to put it in the exact right location. That's what makes her so good so early in her career. Nice pass.
Brusick. Oh, what a dig. It's down to Stefska, kept it alive, but this one will be long. Bronco point.
Another crafty attack from Mary Claire. I don't know if she's not hitting because of setter location or misconnection or what, but she's making it work, so it's fine. I mean, she's getting them way out of system or getting kills, so that's fine, but you're going to need more from that if you're going to be successful over time.
Duzema again didn't get a touch. You know, Evie looked, yeah, she looked right back at the official, said, how in the world was there not a touch on that?
Yeah, she wanted a touch. Coach Kelsey's not going anywhere near that challenge card, though, so they're going to play on.
Good rhythm and pace to this anticipated match in Kalamazoo so far.
No touch. That's going to be 4. I like that choice, though. Just not executed. She left it a little bit low. That's a great choice by Long. I got to tell you, Western Michigan's got to be extremely happy about this start. Yeah, we'll take a look at it right here. I like the choice. She was going. She reversed the flow a little bit. Western was right on it, but it would have split the block if they had executed it.
Long gets a reprieve.
Good touch.
Erickson kept it alive.
Yeah. Tipping's not going to get it done.
No, they were ready for it. Broncos had a good block.
Oh, I like that. Again, love the choice. Just flipped it back for the low pipe there. It was a little bit deep. It just went long, but I like that choice a lot.
Kristen Kelsey will burn a timeout. We'll take it with her. Broncos have rattled off 4 points in a row. Back home, they've dropped.
Why in the form of a 5-0 record. She hasn't lost one player to the transfer portal, and now she's seeing a deep investment from her players into her, not only as a coach, but the Spartan program as a whole. So things going very well in year 1 for Coach K.
Yeah, Jordan, that's a pretty remarkable stat as we're watching a pretty darn good rally here. Spartans will get the point. I mean, in a world of stats, right, and we're overloaded with them in sports, the fact that Coach Kelsey came into the program and didn't lose anybody, it's pretty remarkable.
But I'll tell you, and she talked about it, and as Jordan just said in that piece, she told us she got on the airplane and she went to the people. And so she went and found, like, as soon as she got hired, she went and did home visits with every person that she could on their roster. And that just speaks volumes, because sometimes you hear coaches go in and say, well, when I get my recruiting class, that's not how Kristen approached it at all. She was like, no, I'm here, you're my people. And I just love that energy, and they are absolutely showing up for her. In fact, you heard something from a story earlier on, just before the match.
I did. That's called the tease in the biz. We'll tell it after this point. Tree's just an old pro at this point, you know?
I'm just making it up as I go, man.
How about that dig by Piercefield? Back to the right pin.
Good touch.
Block.
Love it.
Man, this gym has had some juice. Bronco point. And the promised story that Tree was alluding to. So the Michigan State radio announcer, John Krieger, who does a great job, was telling us before the match how Coach Kelsey, she had her first radio coaches show with John before the season, and he's been covering the team for a long time with some really great individuals and really great coaches. The entire team showed up to the first radio coaches show, and John said that's never happened before in his entire time covering Michigan State volleyball.
It's so cool. And it's just, and she talked about, like, the way that they're kind of approaching this. She said, listen, we're trying to win. We're trying to build a winning program, and for us, it's not winning unless we're winning through our values. And she talked a lot about those values and was just so clear on the language. She said she had a transformational experience when she was a student athlete at Michigan State, and that's what she wants her players to have. It was just such a fun call with her, and that was good because it kept me energized through the Lions. Not so good showing. I needed Kristen Kelsey in my life yesterday.
You know, this is a sentence I never thought I'd get to say. We've been spoiled as Lion fans the last couple of years. Yesterday, it kind of reminded me of the first 26 years of my life being a Lions fan.
Yep. Or, over 40-some for me. I'm not going to say the age.
Ooh, what happened there? Michigan State sagged off, and Boyer ends up getting an ace.
And she is happy about it. Boyer has been such a spark plug for this Western Michigan team, and she's trying to learn how to help fill that void of all of those 6 players who have graduated. So you love to see this Bronco have so much success.
Boyer nearly had 2 aces in a row. Broncos are starting to feel it. Spartans did keep it alive.
See if they can take care of this free ball.
Big swing, right pin and a finish. Molly Brown, and this is the largest lead of the first set for Western Michigan.
And they are feeling it. I'll tell you, Leah Richmond, I talked earlier about the spacing of that set from the net. It was 8 feet off. That one was right on it. It was 3 feet off the net. Perfect set for Molly Brown to take care of. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a free ball over. Broncos couldn't take advantage. Ooh, that felt like a big kill from Duzuma. Just had to stem the Bronco momentum.
Yeah, they needed that. We've seen Boyer go on some runs in her career, haven't we? And there was just another one.
It's a Michigan State team that's won 4 in a row. But the coaching staff understood, you know, we've only dropped 1 set all season. There is going to be a time when we're tested. And honestly, we think it's coming in Kalamazoo. It has arrived in this first set. Big block. Long and Sheck, the tag team.
Yeah. And that's right there. You got to have some coverage. At least somebody's got to get on the ground for that. That coverage is so important. In fact, Coach Kelsey talked about that in the call. She talked about early on in one of the matches this last weekend where, really early on in a set, there was a ball that fell without anybody else kind of going for it. And she talks about sweat equity with her team all the time. So she called a timeout. She reminded them of that value. They got right back on the court. Those are the things that she's spending time coaching right now.
2 outstanding digs. Patchett couldn't kill either.
There it is.
And then Erickson has a good one.
There's room.
Got to get it over one more time. Defensive work has been excellent for Michigan State. Broncos had it too. We're watching another great rally.
Oh, come on!
What a dig, Guilfoy. Oh, you know, that point, with how well it was played on both sides, didn't deserve to end like that.
No, sure didn't. And everybody's appreciating good volleyball there. This is a really big crowd, and that was a really fun rally, and everybody's appreciating it.
Michigan State has reasserted itself in this first set after it felt like the Broncos were pulling away. Richmond for Erickson, who has worked so hard the last couple of points, and she's rewarded that time. She got the Spartan touch. Annalise Patchett, sophomore from Appleton, Wisconsin, is taking a larger role in a Bronco lineup where they need returners to take larger roles. Spartans will elect to challenge what was ruled a touch at the net that gave the Broncos the point.
You know my history with replays. I'm terrible when we watch the actual replay. But usually when I see it or don't see it live, I have a better record, right?
Yep.
It's all the years on gym watching all the volleyball. I got to tell you, I definitely didn't see a touch. It doesn't mean there wasn't one, but I didn't catch it live, so I think this is actually going to be a Spartan point. I think that's a good challenge.
Broncos had a challenge earlier in this set that they won. They thought they got a touch, and it turned out they were right.
Yeah, I don't know, actually.
So the touch definitely would have come at the net. It didn't touch Hold'em on that back line.
No, I think it cut long.
With the way that both teams reacted, they both thought they won that point.
I agree.
Watch
so
7
I think it's going to
green.
be long right here. I mean, it didn't touch 16her. She's a great actress.
And that was Sheck who walked away saying, nope, no
or
touch.
18, yeah, Sheck. So it's long or no one. Oh, that's the one. I think it's her left hand.
It's close.
I think it's going to be Long's left hand if it was a touch. Right there in her pinky and ring finger.
Because, of course, you're watching the way that the ball moves, which is the telltale sign that it hit something.
That, and I'm seeing if her fingers moved. And they're going forward, but I think there was a touch there.
Coach Kelsey, since taking over this Michigan State job, has been so deliberate with the way that she's coaching the team. It's almost like she treats every point like it's its own thing and the score doesn't matter. She'll either let them play it out or she'll either call timeout to get her message across, because she tells the women on her team, we got to go play Nebraska at some point. We got to go on the road to Penn State. So I'm getting you ready for these moments. And is this the same environment they'll face in Nebraska this year? No, but this is a good crowd in Kalamazoo.
they're behind the 8 ball right now, in danger of losing this set. Kind of feel like in a weird way Coach Kelsey likes the fact that Western Michigan has gotten off the hop tonight.
100% agreed. I will tell the thing that I loved about how she talked about that is she said, you know, who's going to tell you no? She said just yesterday in practice she had this conversation with the team. Who's going to tell you no? And they said, well, our opponent. Okay, who else? With a ball. Okay, who else? And she just kept asking that question. And she's like, right now it's me. If I don't tell you no, like that's not going to work, you're going to look at me, I'm going to lose your trust, because later on when we get up against, you know, like you said, Nebraska or any of the other myriads of, like Penn State, who just won a national championship, like when we get up against those guys, they are going to tell you no. I want you to hear no now so we can prepare for it. I loved how she talked about that. And isn't that a coach's job? So good. So I agree with you 100%. She wants they want the challenge. And they had some of that this weekend. They did drop a set. But, yeah.
They are taking a good long look at this one. This is one of the longer replay reviews we've seen in a Bronco volleyball game the last couple of years.
Yeah, and they have some more of the views than we do. That's why I blame that for the reason that I'm so terrible with predicting.
It's nice to have an excuse, you
Listen,
know?
It's not an excuse. I'm just self-aware, Evan. Just get off my back, man.
I'm not on your back. I am always here to support you. And then maybe there's some people watching at home going, okay, make a decision already. Well, this is a massive point. This is the difference between 1916, 3 points, and 1817, just 1. This is a gigantic decision.
I agree. This is pretty pivotal.
The coaching never stops for both Kristen Kelsey for Michigan State and Colleen Munson for Western Michigan, as it appears we have a decision.
What are you going to call it? What do you think?
No, I don't want to look like an idiot, right or wrong.
Come
so
on.
I'm just
Don't
going
be
to see what happens.
Oh. They couldn't determine.
Yeah,
That's
I think what happened there, to borrow the term from college football, is the call was upheld. No was one way or the other, so you have to rely with what you initially called, and it's not going to make Michigan State feel great, but
overwhelming evidence to overturn it. And as you can see by that signal the referee just gave, there was not overwhelming evidence. It was inconclusive.
And they took a good long look at it. Brown has the serve.
Nice pass.
Blocked to the net. Broncos are going to get the point. And they're 5 away from an impressive opening set win.
So they had a midweek 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago now, that we had the broadcast for. You weren't here. A different partner. I'm happy to have you.
Thanks.
He did great too. But the thing that I'm seeing that the Broncos have grown in the most since that DePaul match is their blocking. They are doing a phenomenal job right now of just getting touches on these big Spartans.
Sheck gets the kill, and Michigan State stays within breathing distance in this first set.
Much, much needed. But now, you know, the Broncos have gotten themselves to point 20. They also did that against DePaul. They were up 20-9 and kind of, you know, did not sustain that lead. I've never seen that big of a comeback. So let's see how they respond to this. That's a great pass right out of the gate, though.
Brusick. Nope. It's going to be Michigan State point. MC Brusick, preseason All-MAC, a rare mistake.
Clip the antenna.
Another serve for Berger. And that one is long. There's that aggressive nature the Spartans like to have on the serves, kind of biting them.
Yeah, they're okay with that, though. They'll take it. You cannot survive in the Big Ten and not be comfortable with really going for it.
Richmond will serve.
Although, if you're going to be that aggressive, if you're going to miss that many, right now Michigan State's sitting on 0 service aces so far early on in this match. That is not okay.
Block didn't work that time. Hold them through the changeup, and the Broncos see the Spartans get a big point. Western Michigan in that invitational down in Indiana last weekend played a lot of matches like this, a lot of tight competitive sets, but they just couldn't pull it out of the fire. They're hoping things change on this Monday night. Oh, man, you got to have guts to do that. That's Cassidy Pradley, the freshman. She's from outside Battle Creek, making the start, and that was a gigantic play.
That was huge. Perfect spot. It was a little bit low, so she didn't totally have a choice on whether or not she was going to do that, but boy, she put it in exactly the right place. Good for the Harper Creek freshman. Her high school team's not too shabby, too, so she's coming from, this isn't her first time playing big time.
And both of Cassidy's parents went here, so I'm not quite sure how much of a decision she had to make in terms of where she was going to college.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm sure her parents would say, of course she had a decision, but as soon as she got that Bronco offer, Cassidy.
There's a little drip that goes in there. There's some ubiquitous messaging that's happening probably in that.
We've got a lot of apparel that we'd like to keep wearing. We don't want to buy all new stuff. Bronco, another good block. This could be the pivotal point in set one.
Oh, good spot.
And Michigan State gets it. So they'll have a chance to serve it, but Malaya Long, who entering this match tonight does have 12 service aces this year for Michigan State.
It's not been the cleanest volleyball I've ever seen in my life. We're hitting both teams about 100 or just right around 100. Siding out, somewhere in the high 50s, low 60s. That's not terrible, but it's just, it's not like right home. This match is going to be the cleanest look at volleyball, but you know what? It's a fun battle to watch, nonetheless.
Color, dug out by Vellucci. Can the Broncos keep this thing alive? They couldn't. That was a huge swing from Hold'em again, and Michigan State has slimmed it down to just one.
This is going to be a battle. This is such good experience for both teams. They got to be thrilled with this. The worst thing you can do is come in and see it be a blowout. And either side, nobody wants that in the non-con.
Long the serve. Richmond the set.
Oh, there it is.
Man, Pradley's had a couple of gigantic kills in the last couple of minutes.
Good spot, too. You want her going for those deep corners. It's a bigger margin for error, right? Literally, geometry is real. I keep saying that. But also, I love seeing her get her arm on that. That means Leah Richmond did a great job delivering the set, and she went for it with some trust. Love that.
Long. Back to that left pin. Duzuma, the kill, and Michigan State will not quit in this really competitive first set.
Duzuma just with a real quick trigger, and boy, that set was great. And leading her, that was right on a tee. Yeah, that's out.
Oh boy, Hold'em serve is long, and Western Michigan has the chance here to give Michigan State just its second set loss of the young season.
Yeah, that's a good timeout, and it really does come down to serving. One of the keys for the Michigan State Spartans, as we talked about early on, was they have to continue to rely on their strong serving. Well, they have 3 errors to 0 aces. Meanwhile, Western Michigan on the flip side has 1 ace, 0 errors. So they're actually in net positive range for them. So that's Western Michigan's got to be so thrilled with that.
Again, this is a Bronco team that, they've lost 5 matches in a row, but they have tested themselves. Yep. They will continue to test themselves. And I wonder if part of Coach Munson's message was, ladies, we're not going to be home for a while. We're going to have a good crowd, a good opponent. We're not coming back here until the end of the month. Let's savor this opportunity tonight.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know if they take that much into consideration, but I do know that they're going to be really happy because they're about to hop over to the other side of the country and fly all the way to California to play 3 matches against some really, really heavy hitters.
Michigan State and Western Michigan are just racking up the miles on the bus, on the plane, all of the methods of transportation. Michigan State right now in the middle of 5 matches away from the Breslin Center. Western Michigan, as we're talking about, they're not going to be back home here until the end of the month. This is not a typical road trip for Michigan State, not a terribly long bus ride from East Lansing, but they've walked into a bit of a hornet's nest tonight. Western Michigan on the verge of giving them their 2nd drop set of the season. Guilfoyle serves it.
Oh,
Oh, she got the break, and Western Michigan takes set 1. That Spartan coaching staff fully knew that tonight was going to be a challenge. It's been smooth sailing for the Spartans so far this season. Those were some real choppy waters in set 1. Kristen Kelsey's got to go back to the drawing board because Colleen Munson's club just gave it. You know, Michigan State leads this all-time series by a healthy margin, but Western Michigan walked into East Lansing last year and beat them in a 3-setter.
Yeah, they did. Pretty handily, too.
And all the people around the Spartan program, they kind of walked in today and went, we know the Western Michigan record. We don't really care. We remember what happened last year. And Brusick starts off the second set. A kill right through the chute for Western Michigan.
That's good to see. You know, I talked earlier on, like Brusick was getting some crafty, savvy kills, and she wasn't really getting an arm on it. And part of that is, you know, just making sure that you continue to shore up your connection with your setter. She shored it up there. That was a full arm on a really good set from Leah Richmond.
Broncos get that block of the net, which was a big key to their success in the first set, but it is going to be Spartan point.
Yeah, it is. And they're going to be, I mean, you're going to have some of those. And, you know, you can play Couch Olympics all day long, but, like, it is what it is.
Couch Olympics. I've never heard that before. It's a good one. It's always easier to do things from your couch when you don't actually have to go out there and put yourself out there,
It sure is. It sure is. There was an antenna that got hit somewhere early on in this rally, and that was really interesting. That's
what Long's saying right away. She immediately after that point went to the official and said, we need to look at this thing.
Yeah, the line judge just had it, and Coach Munson sort of started reacting, and I saw the up official kind of put her hands out like, we're going to let this play on. I'd rather do that than not have an inadvertent whistle. But that ball definitely hit the antenna a long time ago. That's Western Michigan point. Let's see if we're going to see. It's going to be early in that rally.
That's the finish to it.
Yeah, but a long time ago that play. It's like when you're training, so often things will happen. They'll be just like, let's make that. Let's let it go, and then we'll figure it out afterwards. But this should be Western Michigan point all day.
Evie Duzuma, you could see her reaction right away, and they've decided to change the call.
There's a challenge. No, there's going to be a challenge. That ball hit the antenna.
So they changed the call. Ella Guilfoy starts hopping up and down, and literally she wasn't even down to the ground yet before Colleen Munson said, I want to take another look at this.
Yeah. How it even played on, because the up official had it. Let's see if we can get a look at it. It's right, yeah. Yeah, it touches there off her hands, unless they're saying that. They could be saying that it was off of color. But I think what Western's saying is it went off of Michigan State. No, so they're saying that it went off the blocker. We had it the first time, so let's see if we can get a look at that again.
Because it looked like, Trey, to your point, the initial shot we saw, that the pin was literally moving.
Right, the pin was going crazy.
Yeah.
And the line judge raised a flag, and then they just let it play on. The up official said no. And I think part of it, because you couldn't tell, it was such a quick thing, but I think color pushed it off of Michigan State's blocker. I don't remember who was there. I think it was...
I believe it was Duzuma.
Duzuma, yeah, it was. And it went off her hand, but it was really tight. And I don't know if they're going to have enough to overturn it after the change of the call, but I thought early on this was Western Michigan's point. Maybe we have it now. Yeah, right here. It's that.
Again, when you see Evie kind of put her hands up, that's usually the telltale sign. It's like a defensive back who puts his hands up and says no pass interference.
I don't think they're going to have enough to overturn it. And since they changed it, it's going to probably stay with Michigan State.
Kind of like the challenge, the replay we had in the first set, where you kind of felt like one thing would happen, but they just didn't have enough evidence substantial to change the call.
Honestly, yeah, they're calling her in the net. Honestly, actually, as I just watched that last one, it wasn't the ball at all. It was the Zuma actually touched the antenna, which is illegal. So they just called her in the net. Good challenge. Coach Munson will keep that challenge now that she won it.
So the Broncos will get this serve with Guilfoyle. Had a couple of high-profile transfers, and Ella's one of them. Came over from Virginia Tech. She's a Midwest native. She's from Indy. Zuma tried to go cross court, but it was out. And another Western Michigan point. Started strong in the first set, and they're doing it again here, second set.
Yeah, this is interesting. You know, you talked about Guilfoyle coming from Virginia Tech. The ACC, they're right there kind of neck and neck with the Big Ten in terms of how good they are in volleyball. And Virginia Tech down a little bit in the ACC, but still, she's playing against some real good opponents.
Pittsburgh's become such a good program in the ACC.
SMU as well.
Still feels weird that they're in the ACC.
In Stanford, come on. And Cal.
We could do that. We could do that with Washington.
Can we call it the America Coast to Coast Conference? Because that's what it is now. And the Big Ten, the name's fine.
Conference names are just kind of a relative term.
Did you know, fun fact, the Big Ten didn't really name their own thing. It was just somehow people referred to them. And then it became their conference name. Yeah, I just learned that. You learn all the things here on the broadcast. Bronco production.
We're not just here to entertain. Nope. We're also here to inform.
Yeah, we're educators.
Zuma gets the kill, and a nice bounce back here for Michigan State, grabbing the lead early in the second set. Another kill for Evie, sophomore from Grand Rapids Christian. Oh, big block at the net. How about it for Michigan State?
Yeah, Michigan State's got to be happy about that. I actually think that, I'm not sure what happened, but either it hit the Michigan State blocker in the face. Nope. I'm not sure. Or maybe her middles. Something happened. She's going to stay in, though.
Free ball right to the net. That's really easy for Sheck. And 5 points in a row for Michigan State.
Yeah, don't look now. Their serving's coming back. That's the thing that we talked about at the top. They really want to rely on their serving. They didn't do so great out of the shoot there in the first set, and now you're seeing some. That's not going to get recorded as an ace, but it might as well be.
Blocked to the net again. Zuma and Sheck. It is tough to get by them.
And that's what we call an uncoverable ball. That was straight down with authority.
No timeout for the Broncos yet, as the Spartan lead grows on this 6-0 run. Does the Spartan momentum continue? It does. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
If that didn't hit the monitor, facial reconstruction surgery was in our future.
It's a little broken.
Do I want to see the replay? Because I probably...
In that last timeout, number 14, Molly Brown, really taking the initiative and getting on her players and just saying, we're still in this one, keep your heads up, and just rallying the troops. So some great leadership seen on the bench in that last timeout.
But words got to be backed up with actions right now, and Tree Michigan State has found a different gear in this second set.
I'll tell you, and it's all coming down to serving and passing, like we talked about. Right now, the only person that they can even get the ball to is the person on the left pin, and they just switched it back up to color. And again, it's way out of system. You're just going to the left pin. That's not going to get it done against a team like Michigan State.
Oh, they're starting to rack it up now. Zuma's got another kill.
Yeah, it's the serving. This serving run is, I mean, this whole run is built on the back of great serving.
And Western Michigan has just burned their second timeout within a 4-point.
And that is unheard of. We used to go every single year. So she's trying to do it. She's trying to do it the right way. And you really respect the way that she's going about it.
And kind of to Jordan's point earlier in the broadcast, Michigan State looks at what Colleen Munson has built here. Back-to-back trips to the NCAA tournament. High expectations every year. Two coaches who learned under Kathy George and want their programs to look like what Coach George had for a long time. Broncos trying to desperately get a point back. Joust to the net. Spartans will send it over. Richmond will set it up. Spartans blocked it.
Another one of these great rallies we're seeing.
We've had a bunch of them tonight. Great dig. Color didn't get the kill. Big swing. Zuma wins the point for Michigan State. Wow.
That's fun. There was so many great plays throughout the course of that, just like from both sides. Just so many good defensive. Trying to see, sorry, right in the middle of the point there. Oh, we're going to see somebody new. Lizzie McIntosh coming into the game.
The junior from Rockford. It's her first year here at Western. She was at Grand Rapids Community College. Broncos just trying to get anything to work as this second set all of a sudden has gotten away from them. Vellucci serves it from Novi, Michigan. She's a former Wildcat. Down to Stefska. Richmond,
nice set.
And the Broncos have got one. Molly Brown allows them to breathe with that kill.
I'm loving seeing the drive from Molly Brown. Like they're talking about, they have all these seniors that they lost. There's a lot of leadership to kind of fill the void. And they don't, sometimes when that happens, teams don't realize how heavy that load was for those seniors that were gone. And so seeing Molly Brown, seeing players like Boyer, who's just about to serve it up, seeing them come forward and really start to push and try to kind of assert their energy into the team is really good
for Western Michigan.
Yeah. And Molly Brown is absolutely capable of backing it up with her play coming from Texas A&M, before that Purdue in the Big Ten. You know, you'd love to see that kid have some success. She's bounced around a little bit, probably had some frustrations early in her career. You want to see her step out and be all she can be, so that's really great. Don't look now, but this is Boyer back here. Got Western Michigan a little bit of that cushion last time. See if she can bring them back into this set.
He's been so excellent from that service line the last few years. Broncos had the block.
Good touch.
Got another one. Patch it.
Yes.
The finish right down the line. A little juice back in the gym.
Yeah, yeah. Still a long way back, but they've had it happen to them. So if anybody knows that it can happen, it's the Broncos this year.
Boyer another serve.
Oh, that's up.
That's still up. Barnes can set it back up. Another dig by Western Michigan. Patch it, cross court. Couldn't fit it in. Still, though, the last handful of points for Western Michigan, you can see that confidence start to rise again.
Yep, you sure can. And it came down to that service run for Michigan State, and that's what they came in, and that's one of their strengths. They're going to play into it. They did not show up in the first set with that. That's not something that Western Michigan had to contend with, and so just continuing to take care of that first contact is going to be the key to whether or not they're able to get back into this against a really physical Big Ten team.
Molly Brown, a fist pump after the kill.
Yeah, really love. You didn't see a lot of this, the last time they were home against DePaul. You just didn't see a lot of this happening from anywhere. And to see her coming forward and like, hey, no, let's do this, and backing it up with her play, and then seeing Boyer right now kind of encouraging her teammate there in the middle back. Like, those are the things that they're going to continue to get better at.
Error on the serve, though, for Molly. Tree just told you her resume. Former Aggie at Texas A&M, former Boilermaker at Purdue. Molly coming back closer to home. She's from Goshen in Indiana. Went to Northridge High School. It's down to Stefska's serve.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, and Richmond's dumped in work.
Ooh.
Boyer's dig. Did it hit the scoreboard?
Line judge said it did. I couldn't tell.
That thing was a mile high into the air. The beautiful scoreboard here in University Arena apparently wasn't high enough. Watch this serve here from Stefska. It's like a great tennis serve,
It really is.
There is just some smoke coming off it.
That's why when Boyer she stuck that first serve, man. She just nailed that pass. You gotta love seeing that. And I'll tell you, if you're going to topspin, it's got to be 15 miles an hour faster than a float, because they're just predictable. But when they're on, they're on.
Long. Oh, another good dig by Boyer. She's played well these last handful of points. Blocked to the net by Western Michigan. But it will be Michigan State point. Brusick thought it found its way in. So here's Kai Clayton. Comes from a very athletic family. Her mom played college volleyball. Her dad played college baseball. She's from outside Kansas City. Patchett got blocked to the net. Broncos blocked it again, but it's another Michigan State point. Brusick and Bradley were trying to block that one on the net.
Yeah, I think we're going to see them switch. Right now, Brusick is just getting used on that pin like over and over again, and that's really frustrating. Sometimes you can be too high. It's more about getting pressed over so that your hands can be on the ball and you can direct them toward middle back.
Richmond sets it up.
That's a great set.
Good block by Michigan State. And this one coming our way. Oh, man. Take another hop. That one was much better than earlier.
That was quite a reaction for a softer. You were a little jumpy on that, Evan.
I was not at all. Not at all. That happens.
You were just ready.
That happens all the time in basketball. You know, the ball's coming up and we're ready. You can't lie to the viewer. I mean, come on, man.
That's fair. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Apology accepted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice set.
Oldham got blocked. Look at it back to her. And she found room right in the middle.
I'll tell you, she went back to her again, and it was a little wide, and Oldham did a great job of just dropping it right in the campfire there. And those are the things, like, so we talk about the youth of Western Michigan. They have a couple of outsides that are freshmen, right? And that's just, it takes a while to earn the toolbox and to be able to use it. I mean, it's not like they're not working on it in training, but to be able to use it and pull it out when you need it, the right tool at the right time with the right set, it just takes some time to gain that confidence.
That's a confidence booster for Brusick. Add another kill to her total.
Love seeing that connection between Leah Richmond and Brusick just smooth out over time. And that's what you're seeing. I mean, again, early on, it was tip, tip, tip. And it wasn't because she was trying to. It was because that was the only option she had. Nice pass. Oh.
Finished off by Kulik. She had such a big early swing, you could almost hear her thinking, there's no way I'm not getting a kill on this one.
Yeah.
Not getting a point here. Come on now.
And I think Color got turned around, so all she could do was sort of duck and cover her head instead of go back up and joust. Molly Brown just wasn't in the right place to be able to defend it.
Kulik's from Poland. There's a couple of natives of Poland on the team, and I'm saying this for my grandmother, the great Christine Lee, who was Polish, and I told her that there were a couple of natives of Poland on the Michigan State team, and she had to make sure that I got into the broadcast the Polish phrase she always told us growing up, me and my brothers, Lacha lubia, chacha chubia. The more I love you, the more I bug you.
Oh, I like that.
So if anybody from Poland is watching the match, please feel free to yell at your TV or your phone. That guy's Polish is awful. But there you go. I had to get in the Polish phrase.
I like it. I'm not mad at it.
Yep.
I got couch potato in earlier.
You sure did?
Or no, couch Olympics.
Both are impressive.
Yeah. We have a range here.
Also, if anyone wants to send me a good pierogi recipe, I will not complain because my Nana won't share hers.
I like that decision. And good job, Michigan State, covering that up. But Leah Richmond, watch out now. She's getting a little creative.
Caller had it dug out. And Western Michigan will get the point. I'm not quite sure that was the plan for Molly Brown.
That's all she could do with the set, but I'll tell you, they're scrapping a little bit. And Leah Richmond, I love seeing that sort of creativity. Yeah, it was a little, she missed her window, kind of left it a little bit outside of her right shoulder, so that's all she could do, but crafty kill. But the beginning of that rally, Leah Richmond pulling out the attack in the exact, I mean, we saw so many creative attacks, and she did have a year, her redshirt year, behind Logan Case, so she, I'm sure, picked up a few things, and that was certainly one of them. Good job, Michigan State, defending it.
Stanistevska got blocked. We'll try her again, and it got blocked again. One more try.
There's room.
Can Michigan State see Western Michigan keep this one alive? Yes. DeZuma finally earns Michigan State the point.
Yeah. They had a fight for it, and that's the thing you got to be pretty happy about if you're Western Michigan. Like we talked about this early on. First of all, you got to be pretty happy you took that set off. They've really been tested, and they're seeing this young roster come into their own. They're a lot better than just a week ago, in my opinion. And so that's what you're getting out of this. And right now, yeah, it's 22-12, but they're doing a lot of really good things. And Michigan State, to their credit, they're doing a lot of good by just staying in the moment. Sometimes it can be hard to play a team when you're up 22-12 and really keep going at it and continuing to prove, and they're doing that.
Patch it. Felucci had the dig. Broncos keep it alive. Right through the middle. Dug out by the Broncos.
I don't like that attack. Too easy.
Boyer was ready. Brown didn't get the finish yet. We'll try her again. Oh, and Michigan State will get the point. You know, there's been a couple of times in this match where there's this great rally going back and forth, and it's kind of a deflating end.
Yes, there has. That's exactly it. It's just outlasting. And, you know, you'll see teams as rallies go on, longer and longer, they get a bit more, a little bit looser in getting back to base and getting their defense set up. And both teams, I think, are doing a really good job. This is a lot. You love this as a coach to see this much volleyball being played. And then, obviously, you want to be on the side that wins those long rallies, but...
Western Michigan nabbed the first set. Michigan State, with that long time serving earlier on in the first set, just gave Western Michigan too much of a deficit to overcome.
If you're Kristen Kelsey, you got to be happy with this response. So, yeah. Right?
Trying to finish it here. Can the Broncos keep it going? They can. They'll give the kill to Brown.
That's a heck of a lot of set points to ward off, but we'll see. Of all the Broncos, Molly Brown's one that could do it.
Right.
She's got a pretty good serve, has been on some runs.
Long to the right side. And Michigan State answers the first set win by Western Michigan with an emphatic second set win. They got hot from the service line and ran away with that second set. Better for worse, as Lion fans, we stick through the thick and thin, and unfortunately there's a lot of thin.
A lot of thin. Are you too young to have lived through the 0-16 season?
How young do you think I am?
I don't know. Math is bad. I said it was bad at math.
I was like 12 when that happened. It was
so
awful.
You remember it.
Yeah,
okay.
I was around.
Math, bad. I don't know. That seems like a long time ago.
Not long enough ago. Still remember it. Never really goes away.
No.
Zuma there didn't have an opportunity. Yep, so the Broncos will, and they're going to get a finish. They've won the first point in each of the 3 sets.
That's good. Let's see if they can get something going. They got to get Michigan State out of system more than they did in that second set.
The kill for Pratley.
That's right on cue.
Will this lead to a Bronco point? Not yet.
That set was a little far off the net.
And Michigan State makes up for what could have been a mistake.
That's
Taylor Hold'em, her 9th kill.
You get those free balls, you've got to take care of those. Like, you want to win 8 of 10 of those. It's why they're called a free ball. And again, we're talking about like growth and you know, all that, the maturation that we're going to see from Leah Richmond. But that's set from a free ball situation, although it wasn't a very good first contact if you're talking about free ball. But still, that set was 6 feet off the net and fading off.
Felucci kept it alive. Hold'em didn't finish yet. Chance for Michigan State. Oh, that was not Kulik's plan, but sometimes the changeup works.
Yeah, that was an accidental changeup. That set missed a little bit too high, but she made it happen. Sometimes those paintbrush swings are just what you need.
I want to apologize, by the way. We had a mistake on the career kills for Dezuma. She's now 5 away from 500 career kills. She entered this set with 10 on the game, on the match. Approaching history tonight in Kalamazoo. Block to the net. Evie didn't have it that time. She'll try again. And this time she'll get it. early lead third set for Michigan State, which just rattled off a 25-13 set 2 win.
That was a great pass by Color.
And a nice kill, Stanistevska, the junior from Warsaw.
Heavy arm there, heavy arm.
Yeah.
We've seen a few flashes of it so far, but she's gonna do well. She's a little bit undersized, but boy, it's a heavy ball.
So the last kill was from somebody from Poland. Now the serve from somebody from New Zealand. Yeah, I'm really hoping we have international viewers today. If you're watching this game internationally, if you're watching for one of the Spartans from New Zealand or Poland, feel free to tweet into the broadcast. You can send it to @EVStockton. That's my handle. Aren't we supposed to call it X now? I can't keep track of the names.
Yeah, I don't know.
It changes every day. Whatever it's called, feel free to send in if you're watching, especially if it's tomorrow morning in New Zealand. How's the future? Is it nice? It's still Monday here in the States.
Like a one-man show right now.
Well, if Coach Kelsey's family is watching, they're in the past right now because they live in Illinois, and that's an hour behind.
That's fair.
So they can tell us how the past was.
We already know, don't we?
Is that how
nice
that works?
Nice pass, yeah.
That sound you hear is people's eyes rolling as I try to do comedy. There's a reason I don't. Back to the net, but Stanistevska gets the point. And Michigan State, now this kind of feels like last set where they started to pull away. Exactly
right. And it's starting with the serve again. But also, Western Michigan just not able to organize. They're not getting a very good first contact, even in transition. So just not getting many arms. That was okay. But they're not able to really attack Michigan State. And Michigan State's just going to outlast. You're just slapping it over.
And now you wonder if Western Michigan starts to sense that, hey, this is what happened 20 minutes ago. It can't happen again to us.
Right.
Vellucci to serve. Broncos trying to stem the Spartan tide. Not going to happen there.
They're going to call a lift. Oh, I couldn't see it. But it came back to that first contact. That pass was way too low, way too far forward. And those are the things. As Leah Richmond gets better, as she grows, as she matures as a setter, she's going to get better and better at making those passes. You would talk about like extending the range of three, right? So right there was a good example. That ball was in the 10-foot line, but she made it look like a three pass. That's what you want your setter to do. It's what Logan Case was so good at.
Erickson, what effort.
Oh,
man.
You just wanted that to go over because of the effort from Alana Erickson. That was awesome.
Sprinting every centimeter of that Terraflex court to try to keep it alive.
Honestly, I think about 3 players thought that was no chance, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh, she's going to get it.
I wonder if what Colleen Munson is signaling to her team right now is, hey, Coach Kelsey's team just did this to us last set. This is basically a carbon copy of what happened in the second set.
Yeah, it's giving up that long run.
I mean, you take away that long run in the second set, and it was pretty even between the Spartans and Broncos in that first and that second set.
We just switched setters here, so Maddie Kometz came in. They actually kind of flipped into a 6-2 sort of at the same time. So you see 2 people come in, but it was basically they're switching setters. And now they're back into kind of a rotation 1. Oh, right out of the gate, they get a kill out of it.
Holly Brown will get it. And now we see if Western Michigan gets a few back with their opportunities to serve with their best server, Regan Boyer.
Yeah, Regan Boyer could go on a run here, and the Broncos would be... this is about the time. If you let it go too much further with Michigan State, they're going to feel it, and they're going to absolutely accelerate. Oh, boy.
Some smoke. Big swing for Stanistevska. They have utilized her in this third set.
Yeah, they sure have.
Karolina Stanistevska, a 6-foot outside hitter, adds another kill. Her 3rd year at Michigan State.
Oof. And they are like just absolutely, I mean, just torching offensively right now. Michigan State hitting 600 in this set.
Nice dig by Schneider.
A little tight.
Schneider kept it alive. So did Long. Blocked at the net. Sheck and Long. Excellent work. That Spartan confidence, which was not there in the first set, and Western Michigan won. You could feel it building.
Yeah, you sure can.
It's a battle-tested group. 3 out of 5. They're right in the middle of a long stretch away from home. You know, the Spartan coaching staff talked about the immediate buy-in as soon as that new coaching staff came in. Some of the long days they've had to battle through. Their practice facility, Jennison Fieldhouse, really historic venue on Michigan State's campus, but
very hot.
It gets a little warm in there.
Yes.
Especially in preseason training. This group never complains.
Yep, she said there wasn't one complaint about it. They were just, and she talked about that word we talked about earlier, investment. They're just so invested. And so, I think, hungry to do this in the way that Kristen Kelsey is trying to build it. And she is just so thoughtful in the way that she talks about, if we're going to win through our values. And she brought her values in, all 5 of them, in, you know, throughout various points of the conversation, and just said, like, that, you know, kind of explained how she coaches them. To them, if they're not winning while they're living their values out, it's not winning. And you just got to respect a coach. And I'll tell you, that's just in the long run, that coach is always going to be successful, especially with this generation of the modern athlete.
You know, speaking with Coach Kelsey yesterday, it did kind of feel like she was a really nice mix between old school values and new school teachings. I like for lack of a better way to say it. You can sense all the different places that she's been, all the knowledge she's built up over the years. And she is building a really nice foundation at Michigan State. Yeah,
she sure is. She talked about a conversation she had with their current GA, who was the last setter at Michigan State. And she said, you know, what part of your mentors are you? And she said, you know, in a volleyball sense, and she talked about all of her mentors very highly, and she just talked about, you know, volleyball-wise, that there are a lot of them in there, but I am fully me, and I'm really proud of that. And you can feel that. She's very authentic when you're having this conversation, as she's laying out sort of her blueprint. And they talk about that. They're building the blueprint for this Michigan State volleyball program.
Bursa gets a kill, and Western Michigan has done a nice job of staving off multiple Spartan attempts to run away with this third set.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's 8-12 right now, it feels like it could be a little bit, you know, more of a gap. And, yeah, Western Michigan's, we'll see if they can hang in.
Dejected faces. They were getting quiet, but a infusion of energy after that run for the Broncos, and they look ready and good to go here.
You watch a set like this, and you are reminded, just to be honest about it, about what Michigan State, when they played Western Michigan last year, what the Broncos have lost. So much experience. People like Logan Case, Anna Calcagno, all these names that were pillars of the Western Michigan program, experienced players that aren't there anymore. So yeah, you've got people like Bursa coming back and Boyer coming back, but people have to step into leadership roles, and this is the type of match, competitive one, where you see leaders step up.
Yeah, they're absolutely gaining so much from this experience, both in front of the crowd, like it's just a really big crowd for them, and just in terms of them really being pushed. I love that they're absolutely still in it, that they're absolutely still thundering along. They're showing enthusiasm, because what you forget is when you lose that many seniors, you lose, there's just such, and this happens in every sport, doesn't matter gender, doesn't matter like level, after a big class leaves, especially one was so full of personality and who had a lot of success, there was so much going on that they didn't realize that they now have to step into and carry. And that they are learning that today. They're learning all about it.
They have battled back in this third set. Spartans need a point.
Oh, caught
and
the
they're going to get it. Big swing on that left pin. That was Taylor Hold'em again.
I'll tell you, Hold'em being ready to attack that was coming off of really, like, that was a second contact. So you saw Long just go down and dig that up. And being the setter that she is, she dug it up into a perfect out-of-system outside set. Just took her last two, Hold'em did, and put it in the deep diagonal.
Broncos trying to get it back. Patchett blocked. Man, there have been some really impressive blocks by Michigan State in this third set.
Yeah, and I think if you're the Broncos, you want to see that coverage, that block coverage, just be a little bit more organized, a little bit better. There's been so many where they were kind of longer blocks down instead of those straight down blocks that you really want to see, though. You want to have a chance. You want to get that first ball up high enough to have a chance to transition out of it. Wow, that was a nice set.
Ends up working out. Brusick got a nice feed for Richmond.
So that was a little bit Logan Case-ish from Leah Richmond. She went down almost all the way to her knees and chucked up a back tempo quick set. Take a look at it here. Yeah, she was on her knees, chucked it up kind of over her shoulder, and in a spot that was good enough that Brusick could actually get some power, some swing on it. That was pretty good.
That was the type of set that, I don't know if Logan Case is watching this one live, but she'll watch it back and go, hey, that kind of looked like me. That's pretty good.
That was when I would always say, that's Logan Case doing Logan Case things. Now we can say, there's Leah Richmond doing Leah Richmond things. And you know what? To her credit, they've been really outward. Like, she does have an unenviable job, and people in the community know that. Coach Munson talks about a story where she was like in a store and somebody's like, oh, what position do you play? And she was like, I'm a setter. And one of her teammates sort of was telling the story, and she said, ooh, like as if, and like, I don't want to follow that act. But you know what? Leah Richmond is up to the task. She's athletic. She's a hard worker. She is absolutely going to make her own game. She doesn't want to be Logan Case 2.0. She wants to be Leah Richmond 1.0.
Long,
a little low there.
Kula got blocked the first time. Zuma got blocked the second time. Broncos will set this thing up.
Nice set. Oh.
Color couldn't finish.
Might have been a little wide.
The point continues. Who wins it? Brusick almost had the finish.
Oh, good spot.
Richmond doing her best Logan Case impression.
Perfect time to do that. Perfect spot. Executed it great. One of those long rallies have been going to Michigan State that whole second set. Now you see Western Michigan taking one of them.
Oh, she just set it up so beautifully. Eyes were looking one way. Volleyball went the other way. Oldham gets the finish, and the lead remains 4 in this third set.
They're just kind of hanging on with that 4.
Coach Kelsey knew this would be a challenge. Her team 4-0, just went down to Evansville. Won against the homestanding Purple Aces. Also played Southern Indiana. They're getting all they can handle in Kalamazoo tonight. Big opportunity here for the Broncos with serves coming up.
Yeah. See if they can get a run going here. Getting them out of system is really going to be the key. They've got a lot going on in the front row right now. A lot of choices for Long to pick from. She goes to the right pin. That was a good choice.
Long kept it alive. Stanistevska finishes. It was pretty creative by Michigan State.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the best part of that was Vellucci's set to the outside. The libero had to come all the way up to the net. Running back bump set. Perfect. Perfect out of system set.
Broncos do have both their timeouts left. Keep that in mind as we get closer to the finish line in this third set.
Good pass. That's a key.
Long sets it up. Oh, great dig, wow. Erickson. She's done that a couple of times. DeZuma, the finish, continuing to inch toward 500 career kills.
You know, Molly Brown coming in late, kind of diving in for that. I think if she hadn't, that would have gone wide. She wants that one back for sure. I'm surprised Michigan State didn't get called for over the net there.
Coach Munson saw exactly what maybe you saw. She calls timeout as the lead is to 6. This is one of the largest leads in this third set.
Yeah, you got to stop it now because it's about to get out of hand. I will tell you, though, I think that should have been Western Michigan's point. The blocker was over, and when Richmond set the ball, like she kind of covered it. You can't do that. Like she interfered with the set.
Want to make sure to give number 12 for Michigan State, Evie DeZuma, proper kudos, by the way. She did just pick up her 500th career kill. And Michigan State, after losing that first set, bounces back, wins the second set big. And in this third set, Western Michigan giving them a little fight back. There's still time to go, of course, in this set, but you can see Michigan State really starting to build some resolve these last couple sets.
Yeah, they are. And, you know, one of the things that we talked about going back to the serving is, you know, what Coach Kelsey was talking about. She's like, we want to make sure that we want to be tested because we want to see something that happens a lot in volleyball is if serving is kind of your strong, if that's what you got to kind of hang your hat on, when you're really being tested, and we saw this in the first set for Michigan State, absolutely, it's really hard to stay as aggressive with your serving, right? When the game is close, can we still serve that tough when the game is tight? They're going to have to if they're going to have a chance to move themselves up the Big Ten. As they gain experience, right? They're going to get better and better. I mean, Long is a really good setter. We're looking at a redshirt freshman on both sides of the net running the offense.
Spartans were picked 14th out of the 18 teams in the Big Ten. Western Michigan, even with all the faces and names they have to replace, picked 4th in the MAC. That really felt like the entire league respecting what Colleen Munson has built.
Well, because Coach Munson, you know, in the production call that I had with her before the DePaul match, she was like, I mean, that's just everybody's guess because the whole conference has changed so much. Coaches have changed so much. Our roster has changed so much. She was actually kind of surprised they weren't 7th or 8th.
Bowling Green was picked before the year to win the MAC. They've been Western's best competition the last couple of years. Erickson, what effort again. She's been all over the place. DeZuma, no. Molly Brown knew it as soon as it left her fingers.
Yep, Molly Brown wants that one back for sure. Coach Kelsey is happy about it.
How do you know her facial expression hasn't changed the whole match?
She's pretty steady Eddie, that's for sure. Call that emotional agility. Good coaches work on that a lot.
That one nearly hit the roof. Spartans kept it alive. Doniskevska sends it over. Richmond sets it up. Bellucci dug it out. Spartan point.
Yeah, you know, I haven't talked about this a lot, but one thing I'm kind of silently noting is, I'll tell you, Western Michigan's doing a good job, a decent job of getting Michigan State to give them some free balls. Like, they're getting them in situations where they're getting some free balls. They're just not executing on those free balls. If I was keeping stats, I think they're somewhere around like a 20-30% success rate on free balls, and at this level, that's just not going to do it.
Nice finish by Hold'em right through the middle, and now Michigan State all of a sudden 3 points away from being one set away from getting a big road win.
I love that back row attack, and right over her shoulder, there was a back set. They really pushed the envelope, Michigan State does, on they're trying to force that back row attack kind of in front of the 10-foot line. It makes your hitter really accelerate into their approach, close fast. I like it.
Block of the net. Brown and Richmond were there. It'll be a Bronco point.
Huge stop. That's a huge stop for Western Michigan. This is gonna be a set. This is the time. They have to do something now. They have to get a couple of points, string a stint together here.
Molly Brown could be the one to help them. Boyer recovers. Block to the net. It'll be Spartan point, as I think both teams would admit that was not their cleanest volleyball.
Nope.
But this is still, you know, Western Michigan 6th match of the year, Michigan State 5th. I think both coaching staffs know that it's going to look a lot better in 2 weeks, 2 months than it does on September 8th.
Funny you bring that up. That's something that Coach Kelsey talked about. She said, if we're what my goal for this season is, if you look at us in November and say, wow, you've grown so much, that constant improvement, one of their 5 values, that is absolutely A-okay. That's what they're looking to do. They want to improve every single day.
Richmond frustrated as it ends up being Michigan State point. They are one away from taking a 2-1 set lead.
Yeah, it was close until it wasn't, you know?
Yeah.
where last time it wasn't close, but it felt closer.
I think everyone's picking up what we're laying down.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. I would hope so.
They can't talk back to us if they're not. I guess it's all right.
Sometimes they talk to us via the internet, but we've been taught not to look at our phones during a broadcast because people usually say mean things instead of nice things. It's just easier, I guess, to say mean things instead of nice things.
It sure is. Especially behind a screen, right?
And, yep. And that is the truest thing you'll hear on the air today.
Their names were true.
Yeah. Richmond's got the serve.
Nice pass.
Spartans trying to finish the set. Bronco point, not finished yet. Bronco team that won't be home again, Tree, until the 25th. Excited to have this crowd here tonight. Excited to face a really good opponent. Trying to keep the third set alive. Boyer, good dig. Through the middle. That may be the best point of the night for Western Michigan.
Boyer with the dig. Love seeing her succeed. She's played such a pivotal, glue-ish type role for this Bronco team. That was a great dig. She's a leader. She's really stepping up in that way. It's fun to see her succeed.
Bit of a deflating end to the third set for Western Michigan. The Spartans will take it after dropping the first set 25-22.
If you're Colleen Munson, you're feeling pretty good about this night so far. Like there's still their energy level is there. They're bouncing back from errors. They're not getting stuck, in the woe is me. They're all leading. They're coming back play after play and just trying to stay on the point. And you can see right there again getting the first point right out of the gate, like they have the first 3 sets. So I mean, obviously they're going to continue to compete. And like you said, I don't believe in moral victories either. But you're feeling really good if you're Western Michigan about this.
It's tough sometimes when you replay so much and you do have to zoom out and see the bigger picture.
Yes.
And this goes to every sport at this level of collegiate athletics, the quote-unquote mid-major level, if you want to call it that, where really for Western Michigan, in volleyball specifically, all that matters is mat play, right? So if you can be peaking and finding yourself by that time, do you want to lose? No. Do you have to find yourself later in the year? Maybe. Yeah,
as long as you can keep this young team focused and not so worried about what the results are, right? You want them to compete hard every single time. You don't want them to take any of course we're not going to win. None of that stuff is going to happen here. But you can't get discouraged by that result. You have to understand that we're playing the infinite game. We're playing the long game here.
That was what Nick Saban developed when he was the football coach at Michigan State, was his famous process, where we're just going to ignore what's going on the scoreboard and play the next play. Now, famously, he did that before a game at Ohio State that they ended up winning. So it's easy to focus on the process when you're winning a lot of the time when you're Nick Saban, but the point still remains.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of coaches talk about process. Talking about process before the game and continuing to actually focus on it in the game are 2 totally different things. And I think a lot of coaches, I do this, I consult with coaches. A lot of coaches will say process, and then they react instead of respond to errors or, bad results. And so that gives a really mixed signal to their athletes. And I think both of these coaches, for sure, because I know them well, both of these coaches they live it out. That's a big block.
That's a massive block of Evie Duzama. Slammed back by Western Michigan right at the net.
Yeah, take a look at this. Talked earlier about you got to press over. You don't want to get too high on your block so you can get used. And right there you can see just hands over, and so that ball goes straight down. Annalise Patchett getting it done from the block.
They're setting up Keely Culler, and she earns the point. Freshman from Archbold, Ohio, has been a fixture of the Bronco lineup all year long.
Yeah, I mean, in to what we were talking about earlier, the fact that there's so much youth getting so many good quality minutes for the Broncos, they are absolutely going to continue to be a force. They just got to get through this stretch.
Kept alive in the net. Richmond back to Culler. Long dug it out. Stana Stefska got blocked. Brusick.
Yeah, Brusick.
Big swing and a finish.
Long wants that one back. She felt like she could have that dig. She was not happy with that. But look at this. 5-2 Broncos. Way to come back out and respond to 2 straight sets that were really wide in the margin, points-wise.
Spartans let it go. Ended up being a wise decision. It was close.
You saw Hold'em like, whoop. Thank goodness that went out. She wasn't so sure until the very end.
It's like a batter in baseball or softball who takes a pitch, looks back. Ball 4? Great.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Yep.
I'll go down to first. Schneider to serve it.
Good pass.
Brusick again. Starting to feel it. 4 set.
Brusick is so good off one foot behind her setter. So often I kind of joke like she's kind of automatic, and we haven't seen that a lot tonight, but she is. She can be really automatic off one foot. She just knows how to kind of let that ball. Her spacing's so good that she can come up and pull the trigger whenever she can beat the block. She's good at it.
Brecken check the point for Michigan State.
Going right pin to right pin.
Got a couple of Chicagoland natives on this Spartan team. Brecken's one of them. Went to Glenbard West. She comes to Michigan State from Washington State. You can't get much farther from Chicago than Pullman, Washington. Color sends it over.
Ooh, she's lucky she didn't get a call on that.
Long set it up. Sheck finishes again.
Yeah, take a look at this. Right pin to right pin. Same thing again. The spacing was really good, so she could just kind of go up and explode on it and cut it right inside that block.
Into the net. A break for Western Michigan. It's Maya Bolton who had the serve. She played a fair amount in the second set. From a volleyballing family. Her sister Ellie played at Creighton and SMU. They're both decent programs.
Oh, yeah. Both in the top 25 currently, right?
Last check, yes. Hold'em. Another one. That is her 20th kill tonight.
I was going to say, we have called her name a lot, and I knew coming in that we would. But, yeah, it sure does, yeah. There's not a huge spread. It's not a completely balanced offense for Michigan State. 3 of the attackers are getting the biggest bulk. They're all in double-digit kills, though. Whereas no attacker for Western Michigan has a double-digit.
That time for Ella Guilfoyle, the serve from Clayton, it looked like Ella was thinking, do I let this go? Do I hit it? And by the time she decided to try to send it back, it was a mistake.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you can do when you're passing is be indecisive. And, to the credit of the server, like, that's what you're trying to do is, as you can see her go short now and kind of pull it in. They went to a 2-person serve receive for the Broncos. It's just a good strategy serving. But, servers train all the time to serve in that back 2 feet of the court. And if you miss long, that's what I talk about all the time. Like, if you miss long, great, that's a good miss. Because you're trying to force that indecisiveness. That's the worst thing you can have for a passer is that indecision.
Here's Clayton again. Another big block. Mia Hood was part of it for Michigan State.
Yeah, that set was really, really tight. Didn't give Molly Long much of, Molly Brown, I was like, that's wrong. Molly Brown much of a chance to do anything with it.
Hold'em, a nice job at the net as well. This is where Michigan State has killed Western Michigan these last couple of sets. These long runs, and it's happening again for Coach Kelsey's club, and that is why Colleen Munson burns one of those timeouts.
Yeah, that's a good timeout. You just sort of felt like, all right.
Michigan State is about to hit the road for a while. A couple more coming up away from home at Kennesaw State, App State, and Binghamton. Nice challenge against Bowling Green, and SIUE after that. Bowling Green picked to win the MAC in the preseason. And as much as you can trust preseason polls in the era of transfer portal. Color block to the net. S is what Michigan State has done to really grab a stranglehold on this match the last couple of sets. As for Western Michigan, we've talked about the tough ones coming up, that trip out west with quality opponents. Chance to be home tonight against Michigan State. They won the first set, but the last two have gotten away from them. Trying to turn the tide here, and they'll get it with Molly Brown.
Yeah, I love seeing Richmond push the middles whenever they can, but they haven't been able to do that very much because that first contact. I hate to be a broken record, but that serve for the Spartans, that's no joke.
I'd make a joke about we got to update the phrase broken record because do people really know about that anymore?
What?
But I have a record player, so I know what it is. Big swing for Hold'em. She has had an excellent night. Season high 22 kills.
Yeah, they're really riding the right arm of her all the way here through this.
Long will serve. Richmond for Patchett. Down the line. It was out. And Molly Brown saying challenge that. It may be a wise decision from Colleen Munson to do it. And she will.
Nope. Held it back.
Well, looked like she did signal for challenge, but she holds back. Yeah, let's see if she should have. I don't know. Patchett. Stanistevska kept it alive. Hold'em. Cross court. Out. Big point for Western Michigan.
One of very few here. Not only does Hold'em have 22 kills, she's hitting over 400. Like, she's having herself a night. I have not found an answer for her yet.
Duzama on what has been a historic night. She's over 500 career kills. Evie Duzama from Grand Rapids Christian. Add another one.
And this one, nothing fancy about it, but a kill's a kill. Doesn't matter how hard you hit it.
There's a baseball reference in here about, you know what, a single is the same in the box score, whether you hit it 100 miles per hour or 60. That'll go down in the book as another Michigan State point, and now the Broncos in a big danger zone here.
Yeah, you kind of feel it getting away again. They're at that pivotal point.
Do you think Western Michigan put so much effort into winning that first set that there wasn't a lot of gas left in the tank after that?
Yes and no. I think some of it, though, was Michigan State. Their serve was, we're seeing the serve has absolutely picked up. They did not come out of the gate the same way. And if you let a team, especially a young team, who just they don't know who they're supposed to compete with or not. Like, it's almost a strength sometimes when you have a young team. They don't know. And so sometimes when you let a team like that hang on, it becomes harder and harder to establish that aggressive serve. So I think it was a little bit of a combination of both.
That's usually the answer to most questions in life. Fair. You know, there's no black and white, it's gray.
Yep.
Ooh, how about that from Richmond? Kept it up. Spartans will try it again. Right on through the middle. And that had some smoke coming right for Regan Boyer.
Yeah, Regan Boyer couldn't get out of the way. She wants that back. She tried to play dodgeball because I think that was going out. So does she. But this back row attack, I can't say enough. I really love how they run it. The tempo that they're running it at, it's maybe the height of the antenna. So it's a little bit, you know, it's got some tempo on it. And they're really pushing it forward. They're going to need that so they can have 4 attackers at times, or 3 attackers when the setter is in the front row when they're in conference. Nice dig.
There's been some really good ones in this rally for Western Michigan, but it couldn't be paid off for Erickson, and Michigan State is starting to creep toward the finish line.
Yeah, you see Coach Munson just kind of looking at her young squad saying, hey, just let's settle down just a little bit, stay 1 point at a time. And that's the thing. They want to stay in the point that they're in, 1 point at a time. Doesn't matter what the score is. They want to be like a 1-0 mindset.
Long kept it up. Duzama, not that time.
Nice set.
Hold'em, kept it alive.
Another nice set.
Oh, Richmond.
Look at that dig.
Great dig.
Sorry, that's your job.
That's okay. You did it well. I mean, as long as they don't dock my pay, you can do that as much as you want.
That was a really good dig. I was like, wait, that's not my job.
It's okay. I mean, look, even if Michigan State ends up winning this, I think both teams can take out of this exactly what they wanted. Michigan State got a test on the road, really quality program. Western Michigan's young players are continuing to grow. Were there some sloppy moments? Yes, but there were a lot of competitive moments too.
Yeah, and they're trying to problem solve against a team that's a little bit bigger than them. That's always going to make you better. It's a little bit like sometimes teams will train with the net at a higher level than it's what is regulation. You almost want to, it expands sort of your, it's like a, oh gosh, it's like a training mechanism, right? Where you want to, like.
But they rebounded with a 12-point win in the second set. Won that third set 25-18. And the score is where they'd like it to be in this fourth set too. Patchett gets the kill for the Broncos. When the score is what it is and Western's facing the end of the game here, I'd have to take the mindset as 1 point at a time.
Yep. It should be that always. I mean, the more teams can stay in that moment, and that's the same, by the way, for Western Michigan. You see, this is where Western Michigan absolutely needed to grow. Against DePaul, they were up 20-9, and they lost the set.
Heads up. Coming right in our direction, and Alana Erickson couldn't keep it alive.
I didn't really know what to do there.
They also could not care less that they were barreling into us.
Defending like a basketball defender there. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, Brusa coming over, so is Erickson. We got people ducking, trees falling out of the way, and I don't think they even knew we were even here.
Nope.
To quote great American poet Taylor Swift, I think they forgot we existed.
Wow, well done, Evan.
Thank you. It's been a big couple of weeks for T Swift.
It has. How do you feel about that?
I'm happy for her.
Good.
I always root for love.
I figured you would be.
I watched the podcast with Travis live. I thought he and Jason did an excellent job. Taylor clearly had some things to get off her chest because she talked for about an hour and a half straight, and I loved it. Richmond sets it up, and Brown finishes. Western Michigan will not quit.
You know, Molly Brown, new to the program. Like we talked about her transferring in most recently from Texas A&M. This has been a huge growth just in the week. Her presence on the court from the last time they were here in Kalamazoo has just drastically improved. So she's gonna have a big year here. That's my prediction.
We'll timestamp it, 8:03 on September 8th.
All right.
The Teresa Beckman seal of approval. It's a good one.
Yeah. I'm not always right, but I'm right a lot.
What was that old commercial? Oh, no, that's from Anchorman. 60% of the time, it works every time. I'm just rattling them off.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Color, big swing, and a finish. Add another kill for Keeley. She's going to get a lot of them in her Western Michigan career.
I agree. And she's learning so much.
Colleen Munson's team still has a shot to crawl back fourth set. Guilfoyle serve, the transfer from Virginia Tech. Her mom played college volleyball too. She's part of her college's Hall of Fame. Color, dug out by Michigan State. Oh. Erickson sends it over to keep it going. Broncos block it at the net. Joust kept alive. Long sets it again.
Good touch.
Broncos block it again. Color. Hold'em. Kept up by Western Michigan. This is one of the rallies of the match, and it'll go to Western Michigan.
They just got a free ball kill. That's going to be a highlight for the night at least. You don't see that a lot. Just painted the corner.
Yeah, that's not a sentence you usually get to say. Free ball kill.
Nope.
But the Broncos will take it. Refusing to quit and yield in this fourth set. But this will be Michigan State point, and they're now 3 away from walking out of here with a win. Kristen Kelsey coming back to East Lansing, where she was a two-time team captain, started her coaching career there, but then she got some great experience. Northwestern, Minnesota. Spent a little bit of time coaching club in Nebraska. That's where she was briefly a Chiefs fan. She feels like she's learned from every single stop. And she's building a foundation for her Michigan State Spartans, who have not closed this one out yet in Kalamazoo. It's Western Michigan Point.
You know, the thing that I loved about how she talked about that, she said, I do realize just how privileged I am to have had the experiences, you know, that I've had to prepare me to be a head coach in the Big Ten at the age of 32. And, you know, she talked about Kathy George, her mentor, you know, just being such a part of this and being there. And you know, she's here tonight. And just what a big deal that is. And she said, you know, it wasn't like I was a GA. I skipped that. She gave me a full-time coaching job at the age of 22 right out of college. And I do realize what a privilege that is. And so she's just very complimentary to the experiences that she's had. And she's gone about this very diligently. And, you know, she's going to build this foundation right. You can't root for somebody like that enough, honestly.
You know, in this line of work, you do a lot of coaches calls and you talk to a lot of people, and just to be honest about it, you talk to some people and there's a little bit of a different edge. You can tell that there's something different, something special. And both coaches here today, Colleen Munson for Western Michigan, who we've been so blessed to cover for the last 5-6 years, you and I together, Tree. And then Kristen Kelsey and Michigan State. And we're not just saying that because that's who we're covering tonight. These are two very impressive women leading two very impressive programs.
I couldn't agree with more. Every single word you just said.
That's a kill for Duzama. Big night for her. She's over 500 career kills. And Michigan State is 1 point away from a happy bus ride home to East Lansing.
Just a quick drive over.
Long serves. Richmond sets. Patchett. Oh, what a dig. Michigan State doesn't finish yet. Brown. Long had the dig. Western Michigan keeps it going, at least one more point.
I'm glad it went one more point. I got to tell you, there was a time that Western Michigan played a tournament over at Michigan State in the non-conference portion of their season. This is several years ago now, and it was when I was working with them. And I'm not kidding. They had a newer bus driver, and when they were leaving East Lansing in the middle of the state of Michigan, the bus driver went 45 minutes in the wrong direction.
Oh, boy.
How do you go east? We're going to Western. It's a really easy, I mean, it's a straight line.
I just plug everything into Waze.
Maybe that's what happened.
Waze.
They went to Eastern Michigan instead.
I don't know.
Safe to say Colleen was not very happy.
I can imagine so. Richmond sets. Patchett got the finish. And Michigan State, they can't put this thing in the W column quite yet because these Broncos, to their credit, are not quitting.
And you talked about that earlier, just point by point by point. You just want to stay in the moment, and they're doing a great job. And that's one of the wins, one of the bright spots for the night for sure.
The set from long, the block at the net by Brusick and Patchett. This is starting to get a little interesting. Michigan State's got to call a timeout.
We knew that we had to build trust, and that started with her earning her players' trust. Her players, not I'm going to wait around until my recruits get here. Her players, the players that were there. They didn't choose her, but she did choose them, and I love that. And Coach Munson coaches the same exact way.
Does the night continue, or does Michigan State end it? Duzama, not yet. Patchett. Spartans keep it up. Hold'em does finish it for Michigan State. They'll head back home to the banks of the Red Cedar. Still unbeaten. 5 matches in 2025, and they've won them all. Kristen